Hi, I'm Kaylin Francisco here with Jay Chism at the Southwest Research Extension and Education Center. Jay, can you tell us what we're doing here with the cattle grazing this sorghum?
Yeah, this is actually something Rusty Lee up in Montgomery County, who works for University of Missouri Extension. He had done some programs down here at some educational programs, and he talked about grazing Milo, standing Milo. So the idea is that you plant Milo or grain sorghum. Instead of using a combine to harvest it, we just use our cattle to harvest it. And it's a good thing because we don't have a combine here, so it works out good. But the idea too is, Milo is much more drought tolerant than corn. It's also much cheaper to plant than corn. So it really fits into Southwest Missouri too, because, we always say we're about 10 days away from a drought, and Milo is that drought resistance that Milo provides. We still get some growth from that. And so it really just makes it ideal, I think, for Southwest Missouri, especially when you're trying to maximize, your fields and get the most use out of it, the most bang for your buck. What the cool thing about the Milo is it kind of gets us into this winter season, kind of gets us off some of our fescue fields, and it gives them a place to basically just be there and get a good feed source during the winter months.
So this is a new project we're doing here, right?
Yeah, this is the first time we had ever planted Milo, to graze before. So now this stand we got here, actually it was a pretty poor stand of Milo, and we ended up not grazing this when it was probably in its prime. It kind of blew over, and we had some bird damage and things like that. So there's not a whole lot left out here. It's not the most attractive field, but we did graze some other Milo earlier that worked out fine. Now what we'll do next is next week we'll come in here with a brush hog. We'll actually cut all this down to the ground, and then we'll sow oats. And so we'll graze those oats, for early spring grazing.
Okay, so what are you gonna do next year after the oats, after those?
Yeah, that's a great question. After we get into, after we graze the oats down, or it gets a little hotter, oats don't really like the warm weather, then the idea is that we're gonna go to another new crop, and it's called sun hemp. And sun hemp is a legume, an annual legume that we can actually plant, and it can be grazed, it can be hayed, and we're going to do all of that probably in this as a demonstration. So when it comes to field day on September 19th, we're going to have an area that, we're going to hay it, we're going to graze some, and we're going to have some that we let grow up and mature, and some that we've kept, at a height where we get the better feed quality. So all of that they'll be able to see right here on September 19th at our annual field day.
Nice. So have you grown sun hemp here at the center before?
No, I've actually never even seen sun hemp yet. It's a new crop for me. I know it's a researcher, Dr. Holly Nauman, up on campus, has done quite a bit of work with it in some of the research farms in Central Missouri Research Extension and Education Center. So basically, he's really going to help us, be successful as far as our stand goes, and helping us do planting and really how the rate of planting, things like that. So we'll learn a little bit about it. He's also adding it to, we have another research project, a grazing project going on with Dr. Eric Bailey, and he's actually adding some other treatments using sun hemp in where we're going to actually sow that directly into a fescue field. And so it'll actually provide nitrogen for the fescue as well as cool down the canopy. And they're saying is, his research will say that the fescue actually does better, and actually, does very well in the heat when sun hemp is also interplanted with it. So we're pretty excited to kind of see that. With all the fescue in this area, something that adds to that during summer slump is ideal forage for us to be looking at.
Right. So Milo sounds like a pretty great crop to grow here, to utilize the grazing with the cattle and utilizing all of your square footage here. So thank you for watching. Here, Kaylin Francisco and Jay Chism at the Southwest Reef.